Live TV Talk on your digital device on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. Download the SVP TV app right now. Check us out every Tuesday on Comcast Cable, Channel 17, 8:30 p.m. And we are live every Friday on Facebook Live, 6 o'clock in the evening. You've got a question? Our attorneys have the answer. So let's talk law with attorney Daryl O'Neill on the SVP TV network.
Welcome to Talking Law with Daryl O'Neill. I'm your host. I got my main man, Jerome.
What's up, Daryl O'Neill?
Man.
I am so proud to be able to come on the show with you, man.
Man, you know, Jerome,
I really am, Daryl.
We started the show last week, and we were talking about legislation.
Right, exactly.
And how laws and, and how, the government gets involved.
Yes.
The state, the local, the federal, and so forth.
Yes.
I do really want to continue that
That
conversation.
sounds good, Daryl.
Jerome.
Yes, sir.
But let's give our shout outs.
Sounds good.
So we need to give our shout outs to California, give our shout outs to Little Rock, Arkansas, shout outs to West Memphis, Arkansas, shout outs to Memphis, Tennessee, shout outs to
Mississippi. Yes.
Shout out to Missouri, shout out to my family.
All right. And
shout out to Jerome's family.
Thank you so much.
Jerome said I hadn't been giving his family a shout out, so
Thank you so much, Mr. O'Neill.
look, if you have Roku TV, Fire Stick, Apple TV, or the SVP TV network app, or you watch Facebook Live, you can call in and answer any question that you want.
Yes.
And we'll answer that question.
Right on the air.
Right on the air.
In real time.
In real time.
All right.
Angel, can you put that number up there for them too? So, Jerome, we want to talk about, we always put the nuances in the law.
Yes.
And so I really want to talk about, because, the citizens of Memphis and Jerome Payne got annoyed with the with the state legislators.
Yes.
Because they got in the middle of the city of Memphis trying to do their own regulations.
Daryl, I feel like we're under siege from Nashville, because it looks like they keep dipping their hands in our local politics when it should be hands off.
See, I disagree with you, Jerome, and this is why we always, this is why I like doing the show with you.
Okay, okay.
You and I can almost, we almost do always agree to disagree.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But that's not a bad thing. But here's the thing.
Okay.
In the 1800s, legislators passed the Civil Rights Act.
Okay.
Did you know that?
Yes. We talked about it many times.
We talked about this in detail.
Many times.
We talked about this in detail.
Many times.
For whatever reason, in 1964,
There.
we had to pass a Civil Rights Act.
Oh, there.
Yeah.
Not for whatever reason.
No.
Racism and discrimination
okay.
continued to abound.
Yes.
Okay.
And
So not for whatever reason.
Well, a reason why I'm saying for whatever reason
Okay.
is because we had laws on the book
Okay.
that were supposed to prevent the conduct that was happening to minorities.
Yes.
We had laws on the book for that.
Yes.
Yet and still, nobody listened to those laws and continued to do the discriminatory things to the different minorities.
And lynchings continue to happen.
Absolutely. So then, fast forward, okay, there is the United States Constitution, the federal law says that you cannot do pretextual stops. That is law. It's federal law that says that.
Okay.
You cannot do it's federal law already says that.
Right.
But for some weird, ungodly reason, the city of Memphis decides.
Well,
I'm not gonna let them get off the hook.
There you go again, there.
They-
There you go again, saying for some reason.
For some
the reason is that it continued to happen pretextual stops.
It didn't stop even when they passed the ordinance. It didn't stop.
But that's okay. But the reason why it was necessary for the city council to step in was because it continued to happen unabated.
The city council stepped in playing politics. Okay, that's what they stepped in to do.
Was Tyree Nichols killed or not?
Absolutely.
There? Was Tyree Nichols stopped on a pretextual stop?
Was George Floyd killed? Absolutely. What's the name?
Michael, what's his name? Not Michael. I said Michael Floyd. but Michael Smith.
Yeah, and the girl up in Kentucky. And
yes,
the guy
Breonna Taylor.
Breonna Taylor, the New York.
Eric Garner. Philando Castillo.
Rodney King, all the above.
Well, Rodney King was a little bit different because Rodney did. He did do some 100 miles an hour, so he was doing some endangering stuff. But these other people, so he's not in the same category.
Yeah, but the point of it is, there is federal law, because when these people sue the police departments for their conduct,
right,
they don't sue under some city ordinance because it has no teeth.
That's right.
It has no enforcement provision.
I agree.
So they sue under federal law.
I agree.
Because federal law said you can't do that.
Right.
Even the state, if the state has a statute that talks about some of this stuff.
Right.
But people don't even use that.
I understand.
Because it doesn't have an enforcement teeth.
Well,
it doesn't have no teeth. It has no cause of action.
I got you.
So what ends up happening is we're passing legislation, right?
Right.
Or they're passing an ordinance that has no teeth, and it's an ordinance you're passing an ordinance that that something already exists that's stronger.
But
there's federal law that exists that's stronger.
But then, okay, you're right. So then the courts start to add hurdles to prevent people from exercising the right that's in the federal law.
Yeah, but no ordinance is going to change that.
No, it won't.
Yeah.
It won't. But I'm telling you why we have to continue to attack these things there.
Yeah, but that's not...
It's ridiculous.
Attacking a police department or a state at the local... Because it's not attacking the city of Memphis.
Right.
It's attacking the state of Tennessee.
And it should.
Okay, but the local ordinance... A local ordinance can never attack the mother of that state of that jurisdiction.
But remember, at the time that they passed the legislation locally, there was not something in place in Nashville. But as a result of the people of Memphis deciding how they wanted to be governed, someone else in another area decided that they knew better than what we want here in our city.
No, Jerome, there's federal law that's already in place.
But it's not working.
This ordinance didn't work.
Well, it would have worked had they kept their hands out of Memphis.
No, the city council, even after they passed that ordinance, the police department still continued to do the same nonsense, and they did nothing to any of them.
But remember,
except for reappoint the police chief. That's what they did. Reappoint the police chief.
But remember, there's always going to be someone who ignores the law. You talk about it all the time.
Yeah, who ignored it? The same people that put it into enforce, the city of Memphis.
Because
they ignored it.
Well, not necessarily, because it wasn't there long enough for us to make a determination.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
If you violated the city ordinance or pretextual stop, what is the teeth behind it?
I don't think there was any.
Exactly. So why are we passing an ordinance that has no teeth?
But remember, we also had what we called a citizens review department who could look at police.
They can do that now.
But it has no teeth still.
It didn't have.
But the teeth was taken away by a bunch of white legislators out of Nashville who have no idea what it's like to live in Memphis, Tennessee. From these little hick towns, they're telling us what to do down here in Memphis, Tennessee.
That ordinance had no teeth.
And the reason why these white Republicans are doing this because they have gerrymandered the votes so that they can have a supermajority in Nashville.
Well, okay.
Gerrymandering allows
Yeah.
them not to be faced with election. But thank God, every 2 years, every 2 years we have an opportunity to end it. But our people have been lulled into sleepiness, where they will not turn out to vote because in their minds it's still. I can go out and vote. We can go out 100,000 of us can go out and vote, but tomorrow nothing changes. It's still the same. Because in their minds, they don't see no difference.
Well, so locally, we, the citizens of Memphis and the citizens of Shelby County, locally are putting all the judges that are in place. They're putting all the legislators that are in place.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
Because Brent Taylor is a legislator
that was
up
voted
in by some group out there.
That's okay, but they changed the districts, and again,
yes,
he has a district that's down here in Shelby County.
Yes.
Okay, I think he's out of Germantown.
He's somewhere in Germantown.
Yeah. So I mean, he's a Shelby County resident. So I mean, he's supposed to represent this area.
But he's not.
Well, I don't know what you mean that he's not.
Well, he's not there, but look at what he's proposing.
Oh,
I just told you today that he has introduced into the legislature a bill banning Shelby County and City of Memphis from even studying whether or not reparations for the harm that's been caused to black people can't even go forward. You can't even put a group together. To study it.
All right, so, and here's the problem. The federal government ain't done it. State of Tennessee ain't done it.
Just the hell.
Oh, come on, man. The federal government ain't done nothing.
For every year since 1989, it's been introduced. It hasn't happened.
What has happened?
It hasn't happened.
So then it's hollow.
But there are some areas who have decided to study it. California has done it.
Okay. All right.
In order for you to move forward, you got to have factual information to move forward.
I'm gonna study criminal law. Don't mean I'm gonna practice it. Okay.
All right, that's fine.
Okay. So just because somebody's studying it,
it's okay.
That sounds good.
Okay.
Because that's what we do.
Right.
We're gonna say let's study it. Let's put in an exploratory committee because this sounds good.
That's right.
But it's an exploratory committee with no teeth. If the city of Memphis wanted to put some money towards a reparation budget, they could.
They can't.
They absolutely could.
Because the man is filing something now to stop it.
The city has its own budget. The county has its own budget.
But they can't.
If they want to do it, they could do it.
I thought you just said that the legislature from Nashville control what happens in Memphis.
No, they don't. They control. What happens is the money flows down from the state. The money flows down and flows back.
Okay.
The largest tax consequences, the largest tax bracket that comes out of the state of Tennessee
is out of Shelby County.
From Shelby County and Davidson County.
And Davidson County.
Those are the two areas.
Right.
And Davidson County probably has a bigger play because they have a bigger financial band.
Right.
But those two counties probably are responsible for the largest amount of income in the state of Tennessee.
You're absolutely right. And that's what our people don't recognize, because I've said it for years. The way to reach these people who are obstructing Memphis's growth is through their pocket.
Well, the ones that obstructing growth is the people in Memphis.
Okay.
Come on, man.
There. We should have had the casinos before they went to Tunica.
Okay.
We should have had the casino before we went to West Memphis.
There's no casino in the state of Tennessee.
But it could have been. It could have been passed. There was no lottery until Steve Cohen kept on pushing it until it happened 20 years ago.
Again, if they want to, you got to change the Constitution. Because the Constitution doesn't allow.
That's what they had to do to get the lottery.
I know.
So it can happen. Because the growth.
Ain't nobody pushing it. Because everybody in the state of Tennessee want to go to Tunica.
No, they don't.
Or they want to go to Arkansas.
Nobody wanted to go to Tunica or Arkansas. They wanted it right here in our backyard.
They ain't voted it. They ain't voted it.
So let's go back again. All right. So what we need to do is to take the money out of that Nashville's hands by using the contiguous states. We can use Arkansas, we can use Mississippi, and we can use Kentucky. We can have caravans, just like we used to do there. You're not from the era where we fought to get civil rights legislation in place. So you're not from that era.
So are we going to leave The state of Tennessee?
and make our purchases, yes, because we gotta hit them in the pocket.
So-
So every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we could have caravans going to Arkansas to make all of our purchases.
Well, good luck on that. You can't
Draining.
get people to support your own neighborhood.
That's what I'm saying, because nobody has a plan.
Oh.
Earl Fisher is a
I
black
know
pastor.
Earl. I know Earl.
Earl has started a petition to stop this no reparations deal. The Black Ministerial Association has the power to talk to their membership about what's going on. They can't do it from the pulpit, but they sure can do it from the
Yeah,
pews.
but those same people that you're talking about are the same people that are supposed to be affecting the violence throughout the state of Memphis and Shelby County.
Right.
And that's not happening either.
They're white.
We got to get it. Okay, there's a better plan. There are bigger issues than that.
Not really.
Reparation is not that big. That's not the biggest issue.
There. You got to there. Remember?
Wrong.
Yeah,
Are you really saying a reparation study is more
absolutely.
important than a crime study?
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely, because
Oh my God.
the people are not being educated, Daryl.
So we're going to
Education
give
is
them
the key.
reparation money to educate them.
In order to educate them. But school should be free for every black person.
It
You
is.
should not have
It's
to
called
pay.
public school system.
No, I'm talking about college. There should no.
It is.
And
It is. It's called
and you should have a guaranteed income
Now,
as a
see-
black person.
Okay, so here, see, and this is where a lot of people are disinformed. In the state of Tennessee, if you're a resident of the state of Tennessee,
You can go to Shelby State
you
for
get your
free.
first 2 years of college
That's exactly-
for free.
that's
So
exactly
your
right.
statement that people can get free education in
How
college,
long ago has that happened, Darren? It's only been about 5 years, if that long.
it's there though.
But-
Whether it's 5 years or 1
But
month.
so I'm telling you
It's
now,
there.
but the effect of racism has been going on all of this time, Daryl.
Jerome,
And that's
hold
what
on,
happened
hold on
to you
a second,
young
hold on.
people.
Hold on
You
a
young
second,
people have no clue
but-
as to what it took
but what
for
you-
you to be where you are. No clue. No,
But
you don't.
but-
You don't have a clue how many people were shot,
Man,
killed,
hold up.
maimed
But you're being
over.
disingenuous though, Jerome. Because what you just said, here's what you just said. You said that black people should be able to go to school free.
Right.
Hey, guy, they can. They get the first 2 years are free in the state of Tennessee. So now we're misinforming the society that somehow there's no free education.
Daryl,
It is.
You got to be prepared to go. So it probably takes 2 years to get them on college level.
Okay. All right, so
Most of the things that they have to do is to go back and try to figure out remediation. That spends 2 years because look, we got fourth graders. The whole fourth grade classes are failing.
Jerome, I'm the last person in the world to believe somehow that because you're behind, you can't ever catch up.
That's not what I said.
Well, or because
I'm
you're
saying
behind,
that it's gonna take time for it to
doesn't
happen.
take time. It takes a mental mindset.
Where do you get
of
that
some-
mindset from?
You just
Derek?
want to.
Didn't you tell me that?
Man,
your parents were educators, wasn't they?
No.
was
My
there-
father had a
I wanted to
high
think-
school. My father graduated. My father got a GED. He went to-
Did you know that it was illegal to teach black people how to read
I
and
did
write?
know that.
Okay.
I did know that.
Did you know that you couldn't even get a job in the 60s and 70s to pay decent money there?
I do know
Did you
that.
know that? Did you know that white people have not had to fight for their positions because blacks weren't even considered?
Well, no, I get all that, Jerome.
But apparently
But-
you don't.
no,
because
I get that,
because you're
Jerome.
making excuses for
I'm not
them.
making excuses because, okay, all right, so let me just make sure I understand this.
Okay.
The smash and grabs in our neighborhood is because we're behind education.
Yes.
Okay.
Because
so
when
when you carjacking somebody,
let's just do
you
one at a time.
educationally behind.
Let's do one at a time. Let's do one at a time. It's very clear that the people who are possibly doing these acts of these criminal acts are coming from low-income areas.
Okay.
That their parents never had an opportunity to provide for them what was necessary. They lived in the projects. They don't have education. They don't have automobiles. They don't have the basics, Daryl. That's what we've been deprived of, the basics. Now, what needs to happen is We need to make sure that a quality education is provided for all schools. We talked about it the other day. Tennessee State has been deprived, what, $2 billion?
I don't. Yeah, but still students coming out.
They're
and still students making
just
positive impact.
think about had they had the $2 billion.
Again, they didn't let that hold them back, and that's my whole
But
point.
somebody was deprived.
Yeah, but it didn't, and that's the point, Jerome. You can make it, and my father used to always say this, and then, man, he used to annoy me when he said it. He said, excuses are like butts.
Yeah.
Everybody got one and they all stink.
Unfortunately,
'Cause
that sounds good.
Now, it's the truth.
That's not the truth.
Okay, Jerome.
When you have held a person down for so long,
again, I'm a prime example, Jerome.
Until they
my background.
Well, you know my background.
Again, so I'm not going to ever make excuses.
I escaped, Daryl.
I'm never going to make excuses.
Daryl, I escaped.
Yeah, but
there were only 4 black people who graduated in my law school class.
Yeah.
I only got a chance to go to law school because Dr. King died. If Dr. King hadn't died, I wouldn't even be a lawyer today.
And that's my.
They took his life.
Yeah, but that's
for me to have an opportunity.
And me too. So I'm not going to try to. Now I'm never going to take no.
Well, why was that necessary?
You know
Why?
what? It was necessary because we had.
And somebody don't need to pay for that?
No. Somebody does need to pay for that.
Who?
But that's not a reparation
issue. That is reparations.
That's not a reparation issue. A reparation issue is sometime in the 1800s, I can't remember the exact.
1865 when slavery was ended.
Okay.
Is that what you're talking about now?
Well, 1863.
Right. Emancipation Proclamation.
Exactly.
Okay.
So what I am saying to you is, then there was a promise.
Right. That's exactly right.
That people would get 40 acres and a mule.
Well, no, they were supposed to get 40 acres. We recently added the mule. It was only 40 acres. The General Sherman promised them 40 acres.
40 acres.
All right.
Okay, 40 acres.
President Lincoln was assassinated. Andrew Jackson became president
right,
and rescinded it.
Yeah. So we didn't get the 40 acres.
Right.
Okay. Now, you and I both know, because we end up doing a lot of this work on people, that black people have had a lot of land that they just let go. You disagree with that?
Yes.
Okay,
they didn't just let it go, Daryl.
They didn't want to pay the taxes.
They didn't have the money they paid the taxes.
No, Jerome. Their kids said, man, I'm not paying.
They didn't have the money, Daryl.
They didn't have the money?
No, they didn't have the money to do it. It was stolen from them.
Oh, man, Jerome, I look at this every day and I see these dirty titles.
Sharecropping, the people who were formerly slaves, they turned these people out without a dime, man, after having them in slavery for 250 years.
Yeah.
And then another 150 years of Jim Crow laws. How are you going to excuse these folks for that?
I'm not. There's no excuse for that conduct. And I'm never going to make that excuse for the conduct. But what I'm not going to do is make excuse for the nonsense that we're also going through.
Okay.
Because, I mean, those are apples and oranges.
It all relates back.
Jerome.
And the law, that's good. It just came to me.
Yeah.
The law always talks about relation back.
Yeah.
So relation back is when people never had an opportunity to achieve, Daryl. How can you, I mean, look, we have been tied and bound for the whole time.
Jerome, let me just say this to you.
When did we get a chance to get into the race?
Okay.
First of all.
Okay, so here, let me just say this.
Okay.
All right. There's a lot of people that you and I both know, including ourselves, that grew up poor. Okay? Without a doubt. But my father, who had a 6th grade education, said.
Why did he have a 6th grade education there?
Because, you know.
Why?
Because
he was denied the opportunity to go to school.
No,
he had to leave school in order to raise crops and raise a family.
Actually, he left school to go to the military.
That's even more. Even the GI Bill was not done correctly to black people.
Again, at the end of the day, he didn't want to be a sharecropper.
You
didn't want to be a farmer.
cannot excuse their behavior.
So-
you cannot take up for them.
I'm not-
It's
there's-
enough of them taking up for themselves.
I'm not taking up.
We do it all the time. We
not.
start putting the blame on the victims.
Okay, okay, a guy that crashes and breaks in somebody's property, there's no excuse for that.
Everything,
and I don't care what nobody says.
Everything that we know, we learn. Everything we know, we learned it from them. We learned it
So
from
that
them.
means it's excusable.
We learned it from them.
So that means it's excusable. And see, and that's the problem.
We learned it from them.
But that's the problem because we're gonna
Because
what we're gonna do is give a pass.
look, we know for every dollar that you put in the school system, it results in $10
Okay,
to the
talk
community.
Let's talk about the legal community. Let's just talk about us then.
Okay, all right.
How many you would agree with me? There is probably more white lawyers than black lawyers.
Without a doubt. Because remember, it was only 4 of us in my law school chair, and it was 200 of us.
Yeah.
So that's 196.
Okay, so we know that there's, okay, however, we know that the largest amount of money that a lot of these firms make, they make off the backs of black people.
Yes.
We know that Corey B. Trotz gets people coming to his office like running water.
Yes.
And Gaddy Keltner.
Yes.
And all those.
And Morgan and Morgan. Yes.
All those people.
Yes.
All those black people run to those neighborhoods.
Yes.
Morgan and Morgan ain't spent a dime in a black neighborhood.
Yeah.
Corey B. Trotz ain't spent a dime in a black neighborhood.
Right.
Yet still, we run over there like running water.
But there,
so we are our own. We could take that money and put it into our own community. But yet and still, we won't do that. We'll give them a pass for that.
Well, but you got to be educated there to know the difference.
Oh my
Remember,
God.
listen to me for a minute.
Educated to know the difference between going from a black person to a white person.
To know that when you go to court, remember that's the same. That's the problem that De'Armond Bailey and them had. That Russell Sugarman, all those lawyers who made the way for us, who paved the way for us. Whenever they couldn't even go past the bar until recently. They
I wouldn't say recently.
Well, recent. What depends on 60, 70 years there. That's recent.
Yeah, I mean recent.
There,
Yeah.
I'm 72.
Right.
So I was living right in the middle of all this crap. You follow me?
Yeah, but when you came on, you didn't have no problem going behind the bar now.
No, when I graduated, well, maybe I did.
No,
because
yeah, 'cause,
when I first graduated from law school, they had only maybe one prosecutor who was black. They only had maybe one judge on the bench who was black. I talked to the prosecutor, I can't think his name right now. I told him, "What's going on? Why don't we have more black prosecutors?" Because look, so
they work. Black prosecutors are worse on black people than white prosecutors.
They are because of the same kind of thing that you were saying.
Yeah, it's not the
You're
same
relieving
thing.
them of
Hey,
their
come on,
responsibility.
bruh. There's some
Why would
laws out there.
Why would a young person, why would a 15-year-old choose crime over school? Why? Think about it. Think about it.
Because
Why?
they don't put the work in.
What kind of work?
Drone.
What kind of work?
Drone.
When you don't see nobody who look like you doing anything.
My kids, from the time that they were 4 and 5 years old, knew that they had to get a college degree.
That's your kids there.
Okay, I came from my dad did not have a high school diploma. I'm telling you that.
But Daryl,
So
when you don't see people who look like you
they do.
in positions, what I mean, like all the gas stations, who are they owned by? How many black people you know own gas stations?
Anyway,
how many there?
I don't
How
know.
many?
I don't know.
You don't know any, that's right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, how many hotels do they own?
I don't know any.
How many Lenny's do they own? How many Subways do they own? How many cricket stores they own? How many all of them? How many do they own?
Yeah, but the ones they do own and they did own,
The black people don't own nothing.
Oh no. The ones that they do own,
Who
they did
owns
own.
one? Who owns one? Give me a name.
Jerome, I own a business.
I'm talking about a Subway, a Lenny's, a McDonald's,
Okay.
a Burger King.
I represented black people that own McDonald's. There was
How many?
There was
How many people?
I knew 2 owners that owned.
That's 2 there. How many?
They own 12 McDonald's.
But how many?
Those
How many
2
McDonald's
owners-
in the city of Memphis?
Okay, you said that
How
those
many
2
McDonald's
owners.
in the city of Memphis?
Okay, you said they don't own. They own 12 McDonald's.
They used to own.
They used to own.
Oh,
Because they sold them.
what happened?
They sold them.
Because what?
Because black people wouldn't use them. Now they sold them because they just wasn't as profitable.
Okay.
Anyway, they didn't sell them because they wanted to make
How many
money.
churches? How many churches chicken?
There's black-
How many Popeyes do they own?
There's black Popeye owners too.
How many? 1 or 2 down?
I don't know the number of them, but I know they are. Anyway, This mother done lost his mind, y'all. Anyway, thank you for watching the show. We'll be back next week.
Can you actually imagine hosting your next event at the all-new SVP Bank?